Sometimes the silence you feel isn't distance, it's someone drowning in their own choices. You can sense it, can't you? Something feels unfinished, unresolved, heavy. This connection didn't fade, it fractured. And the strange part is, they know it too. Right now, the person on your mind is fighting a quiet war inside themselves. A war between what they chose and what they truly wanted. They smile in front of others, pretend they've moved on, but deep inside, regret keeps knocking. Not loudly, softly, in moments when they're alone, late at night, in pauses between thoughts. This message isn't about chasing them, it's about understanding the emotional weight they are carrying because of their own decisions. If your intuition has been restless, this is why. Listen closely, because what they're feeling right now explains everything. Part 1. The decision that looked right, but felt wrong. At the moment they made their decision, it felt logical, safe, controlled. They told themselves they were doing the right thing, the mature thing, the practical thing, but emotions don't disappear just because logic demands it. They only go quiet and grow heavier with time. What they didn't expect was the aftershock, the emptiness that followed once the noise settled. Because when someone chooses away from their heart, the heart doesn't protest immediately. It waits. Then it reminds me. They replay moments now, conversations, eye contact, the comfort they felt around you. And what hurts most is realizing that peace doesn't come from choosing safety. It comes from choosing truth. Psychologically, this creates internal conflict. One part of them defends the decision, another part questions it daily. This split drains them emotionally. That's why their energy feels inconsistent. Warm one day, distant the next. They are not at peace. They are managing regret. And regret doesn't always look like sadness. Sometimes it looks like a distraction, sometimes arrogance, sometimes silence. But underneath it all is a realization they didn't prepare for. Losing you cost more than they expected. This is why your presence still lingers in their mind. Not because they're weak, but because the connection was real, and real connections don't disappear on command. Part 2. Why they hide what they're feeling. Admitting regret means admitting fear. Fear of being wrong, fear of vulnerability, fear of facing consequences they can't undo. So instead, they suppress. They convince themselves they've moved on. They stay busy. They avoid places, songs, thoughts that remind them of you. But avoidance isn't healing, it's delay. Deep down, they know something important was left behind. You represented emotional honesty, something they weren't fully ready to hold. And now that you're gone, the absence exposes everything they tried to avoid within themselves. Psychology tells us that unresolved emotional bonds don't fade. They transform into internal pressure. That's what they're feeling now. A pressure that shows up when they least expect it. They don't reach out because they don't trust their own emotions anymore. They fear reopening a door they're unsure how to walk through. And yet, they think of you during moments that matter. When life slows down, when achievements feel hollow, when comfort is missing. This isn't about pride. It's about emotional confusion. They are caught between who they are and who they were with you. And that conflict hurts them more than they ever admit. Part 3. The emotional consequences. They can't escape. Every choice has an emotional echo, and right now they are living inside it. They thought time would fix it, that eventually the feeling would fade. But time doesn't erase emotional truth. It reveals it. Slowly, honestly, relentlessly. They notice patterns now, comparing others to you, measuring conversations against the depth you shared, and nothing quite reaches the same place. This realization doesn't bring clarity, it brings discomfort, because it forces them to confront a painful truth. They walked away from something meaningful before fully understanding its value. Emotionally, this creates restlessness, a sense of being unsettled, like something is missing but unnamed. That's why they seem distant from their own life lately. They are learning the cost of emotional avoidance, and it's heavier than they imagined. Your intuition feels them because emotional connections leave energetic imprints, especially when unfinished, especially when words were never spoken. You didn't imagine this bond, and they're starting to realize that too. Part 4. What this means for you now. Here's the most important part. Their pain is not your responsibility. Understanding them doesn't mean waiting, it means releasing confusion. Their journey is inward now. They must face what they avoided, or carry it forward into every future connection. Your role was never to fix them. Your role was to awaken something real. And you did. That's why they feel this way. That's why I regret exists. Because you represented authenticity, and authenticity leaves a mark. Whether they ever speak it or not, you changed them, and sometimes that's the only closure you need. Part 5. The moment the truth finally hits them. There comes a moment when distraction stops working, when noise fades, when excuses no longer protect the heart. That's when the truth reaches them, quietly but unmistakably. They realize the pain they're carrying isn't because they lost you. It's because they abandoned themselves when they walked away. This awareness doesn't arrive dramatically. It comes in ordinary moments, while staring at a phone with no message that matters, while laughing but feeling strangely empty, while achieving something that should feel fulfilling, yet doesn't. That's when your presence returns in their thoughts, not as memory, but as contrast. You represent what was emotionally honest, what felt aligned, what didn't require pretending. Psychologically, this is the integration phase. The mind stops defending the decision and the heart finally speaks. And when that happens, regret transforms into understanding. They see clearly now. Love wasn't the risk. Avoiding it was. Whether they reach out or not, this realization reshapes them. They become more aware, more cautious, more truthful with themselves than they've ever been. And here's what matters for you. This chapter isn't about reunion. It's about recognition. You were not a mistake in their life. You were the lesson. And lessons don't always come back. They change the person who lost them. If your intuition has been restless, this is why. The truth has finally found them. If you've been questioning yourself, stop. Your intuition was never wrong. You felt the truth before it was visible. Some people don't lose love. They lose the courage to choose it. And that loss teaches them lessons no one else can. Release the weight of waiting. What's meant to return will return healed, not confused. And what doesn't was only meant to show you your depth, your worth, and your power to love deeply. Trust that. Your heart knew before your mind ever did.